We are we are on. Can't see. This is Boricua is live. Come to Nephilim Wars. This is the battle for the souls, baby. Oh yeah, I want to set up right now. Sit right here. Just chill out right here with you guys. Yeah. Hey. What's up, guys? Let me just hold on. Let me just set up. Uh, I got wind. Oh, we got wind. Oh no. All right. Yeah, we got a lot of wind. I want to have two. Hold on. That means I want to sit over here. Whoa. How you guys doing? Hopefully everyone is fine. This is Boricua is Life. Welcome to Nephilim Wars. This is the battle for your souls. And today, what do we have today? Yeah, today we have kind of a clear day. Kind of. We have the cloudy, the smoky cloud coming in, to block the sun, like always. Those are not real clouds. That's the fake clouds. Real clouds are, spread out. Yeah, man. Yeah, the sun is out. It's kind of foggy, that glaze that they put on, it's like a glazy thing that it doesn't look clear. Whatever. Yeah. So we are going to talk today about dictators. The Nephilim dictators and South America. How the dictators, how they are trained, these dictators are trained and prepared beforehand, right? In the School of the Americas. I was in Panama. School of the Americas is a facility in Panama, the base in Panama, United States, U.S. Army base in Panama. I think they closed it down. And yeah, they Noriega was trained there. See, we got another Joker, but I haven't seen that car. That must be a new guy. Another victim. They blow up his car. Okay, man. What is up with my cigar? Hold up. Damn, man. What's up with this? Yeah, so the School of the Americas in Noriega was trained by the CIA, friend of George Bush. Guys are friends. That he was trained, he was chosen, Noriega, the dictator from Panama, that they had the war with. In that country, they had a school called the School of the Americas. The School of the Americas is connected to the Peru. It's a school, the officer school in Peru, the School of the South, La Escuela del Sur, I think it's called. You know what I mean? All this facilities, installations like the Citadel, and where they got the officers here, and yeah, the other one, Citadel. Because I remember when I was in training, we was not in training, we was in base in Fort Polk, and they used to bring the Citadel cadets, right? They used to have the square, the squares instead of a bar, it was squares. Like little squares, whatever. So they were training with us, when we was in Favon over there and doing up for Canadians and the Norwegians and stuff. We're training them, and the cadets from the Citadel used to go and train with us. They little preppy, white dudes. Yeah, training the real, in the real, field over there in GRTC. So yeah. Anyway, these schools, military schools, are connected to the Nephilims. This is all the military, the alchemy of the Watchers. The military is alchemy of the Watchers. The weapons, the army, the tank, all that stuff. So, yeah. It was all given to the white people, to the not white people, the humans. Because this white people stuff is also like, that's another white, black, you against me, you against that. You know how that goes. But the humans got all this technology from the fallen angels. But I'm going to left field. The thing is that the Nephilim, these dictators in South America, they were prepared to be dictators in a school, in a military school. They go from from the schools of South America. These preppy guys also. That's what I meant. The preppy guys, the preppy officers, and from Peru, Colombia. You know what I mean? Miami. Yeah. So yeah. This is the hood too. So yeah, I'm used to it. So I can live anywhere. Yeah, I can live anywhere. Once you live in New York, you can live anywhere. All right. So, these preppy guys from Panama, see, because these are the devil, right? Like I'm talking about something in always, the interruptions. But today I'm clear, so I'm not being. Yeah, because when I'm being attacked, that's when I get all off, of course. But that's weak, right? So the officers from the preppy families, the same people that are in your governments, in your going on in Panama, in South America, in Ecuador and all this, Argentina, Paraguay. That's the one I want. Paraguay, the dictator of Paraguay, Stroessner. Stroessner was a Nephilim. You know how I know that? Because I watch his dictatorship, thing. Because I always watch dictators, right? Idi Amin, Saddam Hussein. I had Saddam Hussein's book, King of Terror. Yeah, King of Terror. So Nephilim, Arab. You know what I'm saying? Like these people, right? They're all connected, and they are all backed by the great Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam backs dictators always, and their countries do better when dictators are in it. That's why a lot of people say, in dictatorships things were better when like in the Dominican Republic. People say, it was better when the dictator, used to like had electric chairs. Man, the dictator of the Dominican Republic, uh, Trujillo, had electric chairs in the and they electrified people and everybody could hear. The other prisoners could hear. And they say that the times was better. The economy was better. Because they also in the Caribbean they had this thing, the CIA. What do you call it? Fidel. So how come all these dictators started in Europe or in the United States first? You know what I'm saying? They always like the Ayatollah Khomeini, man. He went in Europe, living in Europe in Switzerland or something. Switzerland when they got that Illuminati. I mean, yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a guy, Sebi, the Sebi, the Jewish guy, that Sebi guy that was from the 1600s. That he's like the Illuminati, started the Illuminati. Is that guy Sebi? And you know what I'm saying? All this stuff, man. These guys are infiltrated in this stuff so deep that it's, like Stroessner. I was going to Paraguay's dictator Stroessner in the 80s, 35 years as a dictator, backed by the U.S. You know that his driver said, man, that, uh, yeah, his bodyguard driver said that he used to have orgies with little children, man, or just, with people, but they had like a room with the little children hanging in a bathtub. Holy crap. Hanging in the bathtub. See what I'm saying? Look, the wind just got all my stuff. Just blew it all off. Look. You know what I'm saying? Like, look. I'm telling you, bro. Every time I'm out here, the weather just, yeah, man, look. Wants to blow all my stuff away, bro. I'm telling you. The devil. Yeah, man, it blew all my stuff out. Look. It wasn't like that. All of a sudden just blows everything out. Yeah, tell me. I rebuke thee, Satan. The thing is, yeah, man, like a hurricane all of a sudden. So the Stroessner had the little baby, the children hanging under, when they had their these parties, because the families, it's always these families that control the country, right? So only 6 families control Paraguay for like 35 years. A bunch of old guys. Here we go again. It's another one. Yeah, this new exhaust that these people put in the cars now. It's like to be bothering. Because I used to have sport cars, but I make noise too, I guess. And the motorcycles, like, wow. All right. Yeah, excuse me, Father. Yeah, excuse me, Father. So they had little children hanging in the bathtub, and he said that they'll cut, that he bathed on the blood. Flat the Impaler. That lady from New Orleans, another royalty from that live in New Orleans. That white lady used to get the slaves and bathe in the blood. This is European, Anglo-Saxon, Nephilim things. You know what I mean? Because that Anglo-Saxon stuff got to do with the Nephilim. That's the ones with the fighting in King Arthur, fighting them the berserkers. Those are the Anglo-Saxons. So there's a connection with white people and them Nephilims. So yeah, the thing is that these dictators that are trained in the School of the Americas, the Central America, and the whole shebang, the Contras and the Sandinistas and all that. That's all that stuff. Yeah, man, the United States, because they were all quelling peace and stability and prosperity. They were in center all these movements. Chavez in Mexico and all these people. A lot of movements. In Sandinista. In Central America. Another. Padre Andres. Another one that was like fighting. A pastor. A father from the Catholic Church that was actually fighting them. In the war and everything. Yeah. So yeah, man, they were, quelling the movement of peace. The unions of workers, because all these workers working for the Banana Republic, United States corporations, slaving people for like $2 a month. Nephilim stuff, bro. Anyway, the adrenochrome, they were getting adrenochrome. The Stroessner guy, yeah, the dictator Stroessner guy, he had a pact with the dictator of Argentina, the dictator of Uruguay, the dictator of, of Brazil, all of them. So if somebody escaped, they, this all CIA stuff, bro. They didn't want the prosperity, because that's a continent. They would have prospered like everybody else, but they didn't. They couldn't do it because of the Nephilims and the Nazis are in the CIA, CIA, they all brought them over here, and because they also intelligent or whatever, put them in all the intelligence. So we are in this shebang because of that stuff. So anyway, and they're all demons anyway, and serve the devil. And we have Jesus Christ, so it doesn't matter what they have. All this technology. See, they think that all this technology. They were showing how they got the guy from Venezuela with a laser or something, and they killed everybody with the laser. Nephilim technology. That's not. They know white people did not invent none of this stuff. So this has been Nephilim Wars. This is the battle for your souls, baby, and Clone Wars. The adrenochrome. We're gonna talk about this a little later on. So I have the document. All my documents got blown off by the wind. By the devil. Yeah, man. Look, there's no wind. Look, there's no wind. See now, I say something and the wind comes. See, yo. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Yeah, but they were getting adrenochrome, and he was German, Anglo-Saxon. His family, the Stroessner family, was from Germany, and that's where all the Nazis went and lived. Paraguay, Argentina, Brazil. Hitler lived there for like 88, till he was old. So yeah, this is the battle for your souls and prayer. Father in heaven, thank you for the beautiful things you do for me, Father. Your loving kindness and your eternal mercy. Always consoling me when I'm sad. Holding me with your righteous right hand always. Glory to your holy throne and your holy mind. Throne of gold. Messiah. Glory to your holy blood, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Amen. This has been Nephilim Wars and Clone Wars. And we're going to talk about this more, man. This is the adrenochrome and this is in the 60s. These dictators were doing, and if they had a pact, all these people were doing that. They all came from the school of the Americans. So this is a battle for your souls. Talk to you later, guys.